Welcome to Ask ServiceMonster, where you've got questions about your service business and we have your answers. Today's question is from everybody. It has to do with social media, but first let me try to explain something to you guys about the ask. If you want a question, send it to ask@servicemonster.net. We'll be more than happy to answer them. But 90% of the questions we get are about ServiceMonster. We will handle those in the ServiceMonster show. And we do those on Monday. This is about you guys coming to us asking questions. You guys used to ask me a lot of questions, but now a handful of them are all related around ServiceMonster and ServiceMonster 6, which is awesome. But I still get tons of questions about social media, and they're all over the map. There's on boards, they're on the Facebook groups. And what I'll typically do, because it's easier for me, is I wrote this pretty extensive 5,000-word essay for our own board of directors. And marketing loved it, broke it up into 6 pieces and published those on our blog. We'll make those available on the links below in the show notes. Because that question comes up so often, I just kind of dishevel it. I'm like, hey, go read this thing. And I know that you guys don't have a lot of time for that. Plus, consuming via the written word isn't all of our strengths, mine included. So we're going to do a series. I'm going to do a handful of videos here where we talk about social media and gaining mastery over this, and we'll go deep. We'll talk about some of the tools that are available, like Power Editor, what a pixel is and how would you apply that to your website, web forms, and the practical stuff, as well as the enlightened stuff. How do you actually get better than EDDM results? How do you position yourself in your community in such a way that you're capturing their attention, and then when you provide an option for them to buy, they take it in large quantity. So kind of what we want to do for you over the next couple shows. The first one I kind of want to break down the why. Why is this important? Isn't this just another marketing platform? Why should you pay as much attention to it as maybe I am or other service providers who are seeing success? Is that success like 3-round postcards? Is that success like fly-by-night kind of a status quo? I know a lot of you guys are still very skeptical over the power of social media and what it can actually do for you in terms of bringing in leads and establishing a good relationship with your client base. I love that you guys are hanging out now in the social space. 2 years ago, nobody was around. We were pushing to dead air because we've been doing this a very long time. We've been following a handful of people and learning as we go and making mistakes and changing our game plan at every iteration. And I'm just unbelievably excited by what social media has to offer us. And then my excitement is carried over to some service providers who are doing very well with it as well. So breaking down some of the highlights, obviously, Facebook as a marketing platform, it's a shift in media that hasn't been seen since television. You realize how monumental this is. As an advertising platform, we all were so envious of television and radio even. If we could throw some money at it, it would be great. It's even harder for a company like mine, whose very small percent of the population are entrepreneurs who could use a CRM. For you guys, capturing attention of your local area, maybe getting on some local television or local radio spots is expensive, and it's outside of most of your guys' reach, especially television, unless you're doing like night ads, with zombies or Mystery Science Theater. Good show. It's kind of like social media, and specifically Facebook, is kind of like giving us the access and reach of television in prime time, but allowing us to target the exact audience who's most interested to buy from us. It's phenomenal. It is 100 times better than television. And in my opinion, if you're doing it right, hard, and you're firing on all engines, if you're a big company even, television is a horrible buy right now compared to the value proposition that online has. And this isn't new. I mean, Facebook advertising platform is new. What's not new is the shift in attention. And we've seen it when the radio came out. They shifted attention away from readership, digests, newspapers, articles, and newsletters, and direct mail. When television came around, everybody thought that was going to be a fad. and especially the people who were incumbents in the radio industry. Same thing with television as they grew all the way through the 90s, and when the internet came out, that was going to be a fad. And of course everybody laughs at that now, but they were saying the same thing about social media 8 years ago, that it was just going to be a fad in the advertising arena, that it wasn't really going to be that important. Pick your history a little bit. Google pay-per-click was relatively inexpensive for its value when it was first offered in 2006. And we were right there, and it was costing me 25 cents a click, which is pretty darn good. 25 cents a click, I would pay that all day long today. We actually get better results in Facebook depending on the ads that we run, and I'll clue you into how we do that. But 25 cents a click was a deal. Now, those same campaigns targeting those same keywords are gonna run me $5 a click. No thank you. Priced out of the market. Why? Because the big box superstars came in, spent their big marketing budgets because they knew pay-per-click is where the attention was. It took them a couple of years to figure that out, and we are in that same space with Facebook and social media that we were in back then. And Facebook will have the same thing happen to it. In 3 years, it'll churn, and those things will get priced out of most people's market, but then attention will shift. Are we ahead of the curve like Instagram and Snapchat? Are we playing and diving in those arenas? ServiceMonster is. And I would encourage you guys, especially with Instagram, as you'll see over the series of these videos, I'm going to strongly encourage you to pick up Instagram and start to learn how that is, because that's kind of the next platform, as far as I'm concerned, that a service provider can use to garner attention and draw in leads at not very much cost, which is the name of the game here. Like, I'm not romantic about the platform. Facebook is awesome right now, but in 3 years, I'll be on to something else if the attention shifts. If you guys are still playing in Facebook land, I'll be there. But look at us now. We're moving into YouTube in a heavy way, because we know that that's going to be a great platform for us to establish a relatable and repeat client and watcher, viewer, you, to our shows. So at the end of the day, it's a short amount of time before Facebook advertising is going to be priced out. I would encourage you to really take advantage of this opportunity. I'm going to be dumping a huge amount of money into this. Last year we spent $16,000 in Facebook marketing. I really want to spend $150K. I think I'm going to find that hard, actually, as we dial in these campaigns, to spend that much money. This is, I mean, I'm as much in as possible right now, especially 2017. How we supplement that with some of the other strategies that we use, my personal brand, Entree Joe, and some of the other media that we create and how we create it. I'm going to share all that with you guys here. So I'm not going to create a 20-minute video. I want to break these up, so I'm about to wind this one down. But over the next series, like, watch us give you the exact tools you're going to need in order to build your own Facebook empire in your own geographic area. Till next time, kids, have a good one. Send us your questions, ask@servicemonster.net. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Get education. Get the Service Monster Show. Watch us through our epic journey. Get in touch. See ya.